Brodie Sutherland, CEO of Tocvan Ventures, that's TOC on the CSE, joins me here today again to discuss some important news that's been released recently for Tocvan. You can kind of see a little bit of a sneak peek up on the screen. It's a bit of a 1-2 punch. A couple weeks ago, Tocvan got some, I would say, well-deserved love in the market because you sort of proved wrong Mexican jurisdictional concerns. And you landed some critical exploration and trenching permits, which you can see the screen grab here, right? Now, today, as that follow-up, again, kind of exciting, full permitting is now officially in place. All the T's and I's are dotted and crossed, and there's no more sort of work to be done from the government side. You are officially ready to go for your planned pilot production facility. And that's, obviously exciting, right? This is something that if you follow Tocvan has been in the works. I mean, that's been the plan for a couple of years, as long as I've been covering you guys. And as we get closer and closer to it here, people have been eager and excited. And so, it's good news. So, I mean, I'll cut myself off here and just say congratulations, Brodie. I bet you feel pretty good about getting these kind of onto your desk. So maybe I'll just leave it there and just say thanks for coming on. And I've got a couple more questions for you once we go in here.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew. I really appreciate the time as always. And yeah, I mean, we're elated. This is something that we've been building towards for a long time. We were always confident that we could get here. And, from our side, there was a process to get things done right. And we just couldn't be more excited to not only be able to fully, evaluate our broader project area with drilling and trenching, but build out a pilot facility and process 50,000 tons on site. An exciting time for us. We couldn't be happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about kind of Mexico sort of on a macro scale, but then, on a company scale, like you say, exciting. I'm sure, like you say, years of work putting into this. I'm sure there's some relief there. So maybe I'll just ask you that right now that it's done and you can kind of exhale and talk about the process a bit versus sort of being kind of tied up and never want to discuss things that are ongoing too much, right? But can you just discuss the process? I mean, how did you feel it went? Delays or efforts involved, or what was your take on how it kind of got handled, or how it, what was the success or struggles that were involved?
Yeah, I think we would have done it as quick as possible if we could, but I think really from our perspective, it was about timing and being ready to submit, having all the information available to us, not only on the exploration side, because that was a key piece for where do we want to place drill holes? Where do we want to place trenches? But also, getting all the engineering studies completed to be able to submit our application for the pilot itself. And, that took a bit of time, I think, just to get things right. And, we were guided to get everything together for both the exploration and the exploitation side of things and put that together. And I think we're maybe a bit surprised on how quick we were able to see a turnaround on both those permits. I think that showcases the strength of Sonora. I think it also showcases that as we move towards full scale production and starting to permit for that, I think we've got the right team and the right people to help us move through that process. So, it's been a journey, but we couldn't be happier with where we're at and really excited for next steps here.
Yeah. Well, and then quickly before I move on, how long was that process from submission to approval? What was the time span there for the two different kind of rounds of permits?
Yeah. I think that's for us, the really positive point is that on the exploration side of things, so for the trenches, for the drilling, we saw a turnaround that was approximately 2 weeks, which was incredibly fast.
Yeah,
that's over 47 drill pads, 67 trenches, completely allowing us to open up, the broader exploration potential around us, which we think is very significant. In the South Block alone, we think we can expand our footprint 4 to 5 times. The Northern Zone, really, we're just starting to evaluate what's there, but it's sizable. We've got a 3.2 by 1.5 kilometer area to target, and so these are significant for us. So to see that turnaround is obviously very positive. On the pilot, I'll go back and kind of count out the days, but you know, from submission of our application to full authorization, we're looking at approximately a month, maybe a bit longer. So that's all extremely positive, because I know a lot of other jurisdictions that we've worked in the past, it would be much, much
Months
longer to
upon
go through
months
that.
upon
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, and I think even that, right? Because I think now the kind of the natural follow up is, as you know, and you and I have discussed kind of personally and on camera too. I mean, Mexican jurisdictional concerns have kind of sprouted up, and warranted or unwarranted, or how much of it, that's one of those things where kind of a game of telephone happens through the market where you don't know how much is actually sort of serious, hard, concrete truth. I mean, obviously, I think that, you getting permitted in open pit concerns, you getting permitted and then quickly, obviously speaks to it to some degree. But maybe, I mean, again, but you will have much better context and knowledge to kind of speak to that front than I will. I mean, in light of this news and the process you just went through, do you want to discuss Mexican jurisdiction? I mean, what did you see about how the Mexican government is approaching and dealing with open pit mining in this new world of Shine Bomb or whatever?
Yeah, I think obviously we've seen what's out in the media the last couple of years. There's been a lot of uncertainty, uh, but we've always been confident that the right decisions were being made, and that the media often was making it appear a lot worse than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of positive indicators. I think one, our perspective comes from Sonora, which is one of the top, if not the top, mining state in Mexico. So I mean, we have that working for us, but I mean, there's been a lot of positive indicators of late. You've got Heliostar recently received an open pit permit extension on one of their development projects. That's the first open pit related, permit that we've seen with the new administration. I think that really opened up the the potential, and really just kind of shine a bit of light on the fact that the reality is that mining isn't going to stop in Mexico. It will continue as long as it's responsible, and that was a huge positive indicator for us. And I think we've seen all the other indications, like Torex has been on a bit of an acquisition front with. They bought out Reina Silver for cash. They're acquiring Prime Mining for a $450 million valuation. These are all very positive indications for Mexico, and the fact that we're working through this level of permitting, which is just giving us, again, just kind of validating what we've always felt and what we've heard from our people on the ground, is that things are still very much open and can be advanced here. And yeah, again, happy that we're able to successfully get these permits granted.
Yeah, and that's it, right? It's one thing to be confident, another to have the actual hard concrete evidence. And so no, yeah, it's exciting. Congratulations. And this is a lot, like you say, a long time coming, and it really does settle a lot of potential concerns for people, right? I mean, you're good to go, right? I mean, for the foreseeable future. So no, I mean, I think it deserves to be a quick one here. This is a very important update, but I think that in terms of kind of, it's a nice sort of stepping stone onto a bigger and more things to come, right? So I will ask you just about the exploration side a little bit, but first, just pilot plant. So now that you got the permitting done, when do you anticipate construction beginning on all that?
Yeah, we're looking to get active as quick as possible. And, I think the first side of it is, we've got a bunch of ground we want to open up with these trenches that we have permitted across this broader area. And I think we've got some excellent targets there that would provide, excellent feed material for the pilot. So we want to get active in selecting those and starting to open the ground there and get sampling on those. The pilot itself, there'll be some ground prep, clearing the area, digging out for the pad, lining it. Same with the containment ponds, just starting to build out that infrastructure and getting active on that as quick as we can here. And, luckily we're coming on the back end of the rainy season down there. So that makes things are getting easier and easier to do as you work through that. And yeah, I mean, we'll be updating quite often as we work through the whole progression of that part of the project. But we're excited to share that story as it develops, and obviously, we got a bit of the gold bug in 2023 when we poured a bit of doré off a bulk sample, and we're excited to take this next step here on site.
And then just, again, I mean, no timelines are, it's not a hard, I'm not going to hold this to you or expect it to be a hard and concrete date, but I mean, when would you anticipate sort of the construction phase to be complete and you can start actually sort of mining and getting your leach pad filled and get that kind of party started?
Yeah, we're looking early in the fall here. We'll be working through that, and I mean, I think we're in a good position where, really we just want to do it right. So we'll be working through everything, keeping everyone updated through it. We have always slated 6 to 7 months for the whole process once things have started, and be happy to update while that's going on. And I think the other fortunate thing that we have is that we'll be active with the drill as well, and I think we've got a lot of exciting targets to go after, and if we're successful with the drill bit on these new targets, I think that'll provide a nice complement to what we're advancing with the pilot itself. And so, it's going to be a really active fall for us, and we're excited to share the progress.
Yeah, and then this does circle us back to, and look at this, we're actually going to be done 15 minutes here, but maybe I should be careful not to say too much till you actually hit end record. But I mean, the last round of questions here for you, Brodie, I mean, it is on exploration. You are into the sort of a two-phase approach here now, where you're going to do some proof of concept production. But yeah, as I got the map up here, right? Lots and lots and lots of room for expansion, further growth for discovery. What are your plans? Like you said, you referenced you've got 45 drill pads and 67 trenches. I mean, you've got a lot of room to play now. Do you anticipate, I mean, I guess you'll be drilling in the fall again, is my guess, and tell me if I'm wrong there, but maybe my question for you though is, will you start kind of getting aggressive and going kind of north, or will you stay closer to home with this first kind of pass?
We'll start close to home. Plenty of targets to go after there. Those two in the north will definitely be testing. They're strong targets. I think, what we're seeing up in the north is a separate mineralized system. It's high up in an epithermal. It's ideal for testing at depth with the drill. And if we can tag into something significant in those areas, I think, that'll be an exciting thing. It'll change the outlook definitely for upside for us. But we'll start close to home and build out from there. But lots to do, lots to go after. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So, I mean, I guess that's it. So, final question to you. I mean, other news flow, final thoughts. What can we expect maybe for the next 4 or 5 months here and into the end of the year?
Yeah, it's going to be, build up, prep for the pilot, getting these other targets ready, strengthening our team as we go through that. And, expecting a lot of drill results and trenching results rolling into that later this year. And I mean, we want to be, I think it's what we're able to do here with the pilot is quite unique. And, we really want to, guide our shareholders through that whole process. And we've shown in the bulk sample that it's worth doing. And I think it's really going to showcase what the bigger potential is on this project. So yeah, we're excited to share all that. There'll be lots of catalysts. So, we couldn't be more excited to get active here now that all the permits are in hand.
No, excellent. Well, no, I think, Brodie, that's it. I mean, from my vantage point, having followed along for a couple of years, I mean, I think the timing has been good for a while. You guys have done well with your share price, kind of a nice gradual growth here. But I mean, now if this is a story, like you said, on the cusp of a lot of catalysts. I mean, if, like you said, if you're looking for a company that has an exciting news flow coming up, lots of discovery potential, and then 50,000 ton pallet facility. That's a heck of a data point to add to Tocvan as well. So no, Brodie Sutherland, CEO Tocvan Ventures, will be in touch. You guys have, like you say, a lot of news flow coming up, so I'm sure we'll talk again soon. But for now, thank you, and good luck, man.
Thanks, Matthew. Talk soon.